Item 10C, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contract with Bellecci and Associates for design of the Crystal Springs Road Sewer and Water Main Replacement Project in an amount not to exceed $244,356 and appropriating $200,000 from the Water Capital Fund and $200,000 from the Wastewater Capital Fund.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and Council members. Jimmy Tan, a City Engineer with the Public Services Department. The Crystal Springs Road Sewer and Water Main Replacement Project is one of the capacity improvement projects that is needed to be completed by 2019 as part of the consent decree agreement. The primary purpose of the project is to alleviate the capacity deficient pipeline issues along Crystal Springs Road and to reduce future sanitary sewer overflows. This project consists of upgrading approximately 3,400 feet of 6-inch and 8-inch pipeline with new 10-inch and 15-inch pipeline along Crystal Springs Road, and installing approximately 3,850 feet of new 8-inch water pipeline along Crystal Springs Road as well. And in addition to that, there's another 500 feet of 12-inch water line that needs to be replaced along El Camino between Taylor Avenue and Crystal Springs Road. These water pipelines are being concurrently replaced due to the age of the infrastructure and to reduce construction impacts to the public. The completion of this project will provide residents with more reliable water and sewer service to prevent future sewer overflows and water breaks. The city issued an RFP for the design services in October and received 6 proposals. Staff evaluated the proposals and is recommending Bellecci and Associates to provide the engineering design for this project. Bellecci and Associates has experience as they have designed a previous project for the city for the Keynes Avenue and San Mateo Avenue sewer replacement project, which is part of the third phase of the Keynes to Angus sewer bypass project. The consultant cost services for this work is $244,356. The scope of work includes the preparation of technical memorandum, geotechnical investigation, surveying, detailed final design, preparation of bid documents, and providing construction support services. The design is anticipated to be completed within 6 months and actually in 8 months with additional 6 months for construction. During the design, the staff will evaluate the environmental impacts and file the necessary clearances for this project. The construction of this project is anticipated to be awarded in the 15-16 fiscal year. Currently, this project is a proposed project in the fiscal year 14 to 19 CIP within established 13 to 18 CIP water and sewer main improvements and replacement programs. So funds have not been appropriated for this project. So we're requesting a total appropriation of $400,000, $200,000 from the wastewater capital fund and $200,000 from the water capital fund for the design contract and staff project management. So therefore, the staff is recommending to adopt the resolution to authorize the city manager to execute a contract with Bellecci and Associates for the design of this project in amount not to exceed $24,356 and appropriating $200,000 from the wastewater fund and then $200,000 from the water capital fund.
Any questions of staff?
Yeah.
Ken?
Through the chair, I should have called on this. I'm a little confused as to what's being replaced and possibly what's being abandoned. I have a map, an attachment location map here that shows the origination of the pipe at Portola Way and then traversing across the baseball fields and then all the way down Crystal Springs. And then in the staff report, it states that you were doing something that's going to divert that. So if you can explain what is actually being constructed, whether or not we are doing anything in the park or you're just going to abandon those pipes. And then you're talking about 6 to 8 months on Crystal Springs Road, which really concerns me. I've got a 75th Posey Parade in June, and I'd like to know what the condition of Crystal Springs Road's going to be.
Correct. The alignment that's shown on the map is for that shows existing sewer main alignment. And currently, the pipeline that's along or within the San Bruno Park will be relocated because it's currently in the baseball field.
Right.
So in order for, future accessibility of this pipeline, the pipeline will be relocated to the City Parkway. And the rest of the pipeline alignment will remain as is, since is the removal and replacement of the existing sewer pipelines. So the pipeline from Oak Avenue all the way to El Camino will be within the streets along Crystal Springs Road.
As it relates to your additional question about the timeline, it's my understanding that, first of all, this is a design contract, and that design process will occur over the next approximate 10 to 12 months. Is that correct?
Correct.
And so the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Posey
I'm sorry, yeah.
Parade this coming June will not be impacted. Potentially bidding the project and then beginning construction in 2016 will be the time during which we will need, during the design phase, we will obviously need to consider and incorporate those considerations with respect to use of Crystal Springs Road as well as City Parkway as part of the design phase, and then those impacts will be felt in 2016. So we have plenty of time to plan and prepare for that, and staff is mindful.
My apologies, I was fast-tracking this project. I was thinking, I saw completed by August 2015, and so I was anticipating the construction to be, but it's still going to be a major impact.
It will be.
On that thoroughfare.
And that will need to be a major consideration of the design phase of the project in order that we get all of those issues vetted carefully ahead of time.
Good. Any other questions?
Through the chair.
Michael?
I know we haven't really addressed stormwater in a lot of our future planning, but I'm looking at this and you're saying you're going to reroute this stuff through City Parkway, and I know there's a big opportunity there to divert some stormwater out of the parking lot. So is there any possibility that we might be able to incorporate that? Could we move forward with this design and maybe add on some capacity for stormwater? Would stormwater impact what we're trying to do here at all?
Councilmember Salazar, as far as the impact, whatever areas that will impact, we will try to accommodate any additional need, whether that would be a sidewalk, street, storm drain. We will comply with the current requirements on the storm drain applications into the best design practices based on the county's recommendation. For a longer or a larger impact through the whole park, we do have a project that was considered in the CIP. However, the funding on that one hasn't been established yet. So this project will not impact the major storm drain that goes through the park, but it will address the local issues as we encounter them in the alignment.
Okay. Sounds like we have a little reserve money in capital improvement, so that'd be a nice opportunity if we can piggyback that on.
Well,
this project.
as much as we can. I mean, our hands are bound based on the nexus for the project, because the funding for this comes from the sewer fund and the water fund. So whatever gets impacted for this project that we could justify, we can improve. Any additional improvements we want to make that's not related to this project directly, then we would have to look for other sources of funding.
Okay, thank you.
Ken?
I just want to follow up on that. What is it going to take for us to direct you to at least look at it, or at least have a consultant, consider it? I appreciate what you're saying, that, I mean, why look at it if we don't have a funding source? But what do we know? How much does it cost? And, and like he says, he mentioned the reserve. We've got a major river running through that park that we can possibly take care of, and now would be the time.
Yeah, let me take a stab at that question, because what the director is saying is that there is no funding in the stormwater fund to design, to evaluate, to do a feasibility study, to construct the type of improvement that would be necessary to address as you said, the river through the parking lot in City Park. If it is the council's interest that that issue be explored, staff could certainly come back to you with some preliminary thoughts about what it would take and the initiation potentially of a feasibility study. I want to be clear that what the director is telling you should not be understood as any significant changes to the current, to the existing situation unless we take an additional effort to evaluate what the opportunities may be and what the costs for rectifying that situation or addressing the stormwater situation in a more complete manner. We can certainly take a look at that and come back to the council with some initial thoughts about that.
Just speaking for myself, I would like to have staff come back with some initial thoughts and
Yep.
ideas. I'm not saying to go out and have a consultant, but I'm just saying to the feasibility and the opportunity that has been brought up, I'm also one that would like to at least have that looked at.
We're happy to do that. This is a long-standing issue and one that could improvements be coordinated, may be a great opportunity, but that is not currently what's on the table.
Okay. And if we could at least
do
let the
that.
consultant know that it is our interest to do something
Yeah,
there, and they take
absolutely.
that into consideration, it might make a different solution. I mean, rather than have them completely avoid that project area, you know, should consider that it might be something that we want to open up anyway. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions on this item? You're asking for another resolution?
I'll introduce the resolution.
Councilmember Ibera.
Aye.
Councilmember Salazar.
Aye.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Medina.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.